Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the, let's see, what do we got here? We got the Newtown Throwdown 2022. I am Mark Bland, your host, the host of The Q, every single Saturday, 1 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on Fox Radio or News Radio, KYRO.com. So I'm your radio show host here today, and I'm joined by John.
Yes.
Who is a partner of ours, not a life partner or anything like that.
Or a business partner.
Well, I mean, you might be a business partner because we're doing business as we speak. This is business. It's a style of business.
Am I getting paid?
I don't know. Did you talk to that guy? Did you talk to that guy? What about that? Did you win the bags tournament, sir? I don't know what's going on here.
No, sir. I don't throw. I don't toss the bag.
And John, I don't know your last name. What is your last name?
It's Osiek.
John Osiek. Okay. So I have John Osiek here with me. I'm Mark Bland. And we're here live for Always Forward Media. Live podcasting and talk show from the Newtown Throwdown 2022.
In the beautiful town of Newtown.
In the beautiful town of Newtown, right outside of St. Charles, Missouri. And I live relatively close to this. John, where do you live? Do you live close to this or no? Or
Yeah, I'm out in West County.
You said what?
I'm out in West County. Relatively close.
You're out in West County?
Yeah. Sir. Sir.
Yeah, sir. Get on that microphone.
Sir.
It won't bite you, I promise.
Oh, it will. It will.
Now, this year seems to have garnered way more interest than last year, which is good. We're moving up in the world.
So the attendance is
it's higher, I'm sure.
Okay.
I can just tell from the amount of literal, like last year we still had a roadway here that people could drive through. Now we have like 50 new bag spots and different tents. Plus we have hot dog sales and stuff going down that way on that road over there. Like,
oh, wow.
It's definitely spread out a lot compared to last year. So yes, they've definitely moved up in the world, and that is a great thing because that's just showing you guys out there how popular bags is becoming.
It definitely has become more of a popular sport, I would say.
Now,
I hear about bag tournaments all over St. Louis.
Are you a purveyor of this? I like to play bags myself. Do you like to play bags, sir?
No, sir.
You're not a bags guy. Do you like to drink Scotch whiskey and slowly ruminate about life
only
next to a campfire?
Bougie single malts, yes.
Bougie single malts next to a campfire, though?
Maybe
not. Fire pit could be.
The couch, it don't matter.
See, we out here in the rurals where we all live. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fire pits going on. There's a lot of Marcus being loved. There's a lot of me being loved. There's just a lot of love going around. Let's just say that.
Okay.
So anyway, I host the Q, which is typically a political show, but I do pop culture too. I like to do the top 10 lists, and I like to do the tournaments of pop culture typically. But I did not decide to do one this year for this. Last year I did one. I can't remember which one it was. Will Smith movies or something like that. It was a fun one. It's a fun one.
Sure.
But this year I decided I want to do some talking. I just want to just discuss things. I want to talk about life. I want to talk about the things going on in your lives. You know what is it about every sport that isn't one of the majors, right? Like, think about it. Baseball, they have their own specific jersey.
Absolutely.
Basketball has a jersey.
Yep.
They all have their own specific jerseys, but what I'm saying is, like, it's very indelled to that sport, right? Any sport that isn't one of those four major sports right there, and I might even be willing to put in a fifth or a sixth major sport, simply if it falls into that jersey style, like it's a proprietary style of jersey, right? Like the button up, like a bowling shirt could be the number 6 or number 5, number 6, whatever. Like that totally could fall into that because it's pretty proprietary and specific. Now, once you get past those sports right there, that's when all the other sports, drag racing, right? Cornhole playing, ping pong, like whatever it is, it becomes the just heavily overstyled print shirt, like what Marcus is wearing, like that basic t-shirt. That basic t-shirt, but they almost do it with the splash designs and all that stuff to make it look like that over the top. And that's every other sport but those, right? The main sports just kind of focus on their logo. That's it. It's the logo that everybody kind of follows and knows and loves.
And then the league logo as well.
Yeah, the league logo too. But the whole shirt is taken into account when it comes to these smaller sports.
Well, it's much like NASCAR in essence. You know, you got to show who you're playing for.
It's much like NASCAR in that case. Well, I guess NASCAR probably has the same similar thing.
Oh, yeah.
Though they have to wear a fire retardant tracksuit.
But that thing's covered in brands.
It is.
And
Well,
the car's covered in brands.
actually, typically, if I remember, and we could look it up. Obviously, we could Google these things if we wanted to. Oh my goodness, this guy is just screaming into the mics while we're trying to do a live show. What ridiculousness is going on here?
That's a bit of a loaded question.
My
there.
goodness, I don't.
All the ridiculousness.
Where's the professionalism? What happened to professionalism in broadcasting, sir? John, what happened to it?
Walter Cronkite died.
Walter Cronkite died.
Yes. You asked for an answer.
That is an answer. Correct. That is an answer. But yeah, she's got the Cobra Kai logo over there. Have you watched that show? Have you checked that show out?
Absolutely, yes.
I'm a big fan of the Cobra Kai. Right before I got here, my son he brought his acoustic guitar out, and then he went to the TV, to YouTube, and then on YouTube, he typed up the scene from the new Stranger Things season where Eddie, the one character, plays Master of Puppets by Metallica.
Oh yeah, and
he brought it up on the screen, and then when it did it, he was pretending or trying to play the guitar, like dun, 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 like he's trying to play along with it, so he can just strum every chord at the same time. It's always harsh and loud, and it's the same thing. So he's doing that, which I thought that was kind of new. That's new for him. It's a new thing for him because at the age of 10, I've never seen him grab or take interest in that world. He had an acoustic guitar given to him by his grandparents when he was a lot younger, 7, 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? He just broke it out now, 10 years old, 3 years later. But it's because of this scene in the show that's pushing him towards doing that.
Yeah, he's gained a lot more interest.
A lot more interest into interesting things.
Well, music is a wonderful thing.
Music's great.
Yeah, it reinforces your math skills.
Get into that microphone. We can't even hear you on the
all that good stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you get pizza from?
Oh, it's Miss Queenie.
Wait, Queenie, find out where he got pizza from so that we can get some pizzas also, because this is delicious sounding.
Yes,
this guy, he's just going like this.
Right over there.
Okay, that guy. Who's that guy? That's Chase. Chase is the guy. He's a cornhole thug gangbanger. None of that. Wow. That sounds like an oxymoron right off the bat. Just right off the bat. There was nothing about that mixed up well at all.
I mean, you came out loud with it.
Oh, I did. I did say it out loud. Thank you, Marcus. We appreciate and love you. So anyway, I was talking about the new Stranger Things and stuff like that. I love watching a great show when I can tap into a solid show, and I think I watch that show more for the nostalgic vibe it puts off to me, the time period that they're dealing with, and the nostalgia 80s of it, because that was my childhood, and I was their age at that time period. So it speaks to me. I'm sure it speaks to you in that way too.
I mean, a little bit. I was born in kind of that era. I'm in '86.
You're born in '86?
Yes.
Okay. Top Gun comes out that year?
Yeah, that's the second best thing out of '86.
Second best thing out of '86?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My goodness. This is now let me ask you. I don't get to excuse me. You're making me cough here. Excuse me. Are you confident or cocky? Confident. That's where I was going to go. Confident or cocky? Because you come off confident. Yeah. I'll take confident. I'll accept. I hate when somebody, I'm confident, but you can obviously tell it's a cockiness because it's too often. You know what I'm saying? John, when we're talking off the microphone or just chilling and stuff like that, general conversations about Europe and stuff like that. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. No cockiness to it. It's just a kind of a person who's cocky though likes to throw little things in I went to Europe and this is what you should see check out these pictures, and they start swiping their phone. They're trying to show it off. It's one of those things. You didn't do that. You're not that guy. There's a confidence there. That's why I was saying.
I use a tape measure enough to where I don't have to measure dicks.
That's fair.
So
that's fair. That's very fair.
I'm good with fractions for all you small guys out there.
Now, like I said, I typically talk politics, and I do want to ask you one question. Not really politically motivated as far as discussing politics on one side versus the other side politics. Yeah. Putin. This guy is he's really setting himself up right now.
Well, I mean, it's funny that you like Stranger Things, because Russia is basically.
Oh yeah. Russia's in the end of that. Yeah. That
Yeah.
no, and Putin's from that time period. That's where he learns to be the way he is, and the KGB aspect of him. And this is kind of why he wants to go back to the old USSR, the whole country put back together, which is why he's trying to attack Ukraine in the first place. And he's been talking about doing this for years, and he's tried to pull the tanks up to Georgia and stuff. So this is not unlike Putin to like try these things and do these things. Mm-hmm. But he's not finding the success that he wanted. And I think that it is slowly devolving him mentally into a state of madness. I really do believe this. Like, I'm not even trying to like be funny or stupid about it. It's just legitimately the stories that are coming out, like the draftee situation, 300,000 new draftees that he wants to conscript into his military out of the just normal people that are a part of his population.
Yep.
He's grabbing 17-year-old kids, throwing a gun in their hand. Legitimately, these are stories. Throwing a gun in their hand and sending them straight to the front line. No training at all.
We've done the same thing.
But no. We gave him boot camp and training, even if it was a shortened boot camp and training of 4 weeks or whatever during Vietnam, as opposed to the 8 to 9 that they have to do typically now. It was like only like 3 or 4 weeks at that time during Vietnam, the last draft. So, my point being, you're grabbing these kids, throwing them right on the front lines. They are the children of other men that might be in their 40s and 50s, still young enough to get around and make moves if they need to.
Yep.
And you send their kid to the front line with no training, and they get killed. That family's going to go into grief mode, and their dad is going to get angry. And if you get enough of them dads angry about their sons dying for this dude for no reason whatsoever with no training, simply because he's being an a-hole, they'll come for him. Like, I'm dead serious. They will come from. Think about the country we're dealing with already and what they're willing to do anyway. It's a mindset of the people. So if they feel like they need to turn on themselves, they'll bite their own foot.
Yeah, I mean, the last Russian Revolution was pretty nasty, you know?
The last Russian Revolution was extremely nasty. Good call.
And while they were fighting World War I as well, too. So you had the Red and the White Army.
You know what's really interesting? You just mentioned World War I. I was late last night before I went to bed. I was laying there and just watching some TV, and I flipped to a channel. They were talking about World War II in China and China's role within World War II and what they were doing in China during the World War, like how they were involved. So what I did not know, which was interesting, is as the United States is going to war with Japan in World War II, Midway and all that, as we're going and fighting them on that side, Japan is attacking China.
Oh, they've
on the other side. Yeah, they had already been there for a few years at that point. But they're attacking China on the other side as a part of World War II. So they're fighting a two-front war against two massive superpowers. And they're the island nation of Japan.
Well, they even went up a little bit.
That's pretty crazy, man. I'm just saying that's crazy to think that many people were that gung-ho from such a small place in comparison to the two powers they were fighting, that they were willing to even take that battle on. I figure if you're already in World War II fighting China over here, you're probably putting a lot of your money, time, and effort over there.
Yep, they've been over there in, I believe, the early 30s.
But that's the crazy thing about the World War. Both World Wars, it was a multi-front war. Like, many of these countries were fighting two fronts throughout the entire war. So, yeah. I just found that interesting because we always talk about our entry into World War II as D-Day and going after Germany.
No, absolutely not. Pearl Harbor.
No. What?
Pearl Harbor.
No. You don't ever let me finish.
All right.
I had to say that this and Pearl Harbor are the only things that you got to let me finish the sentence.
Oh, I'm sorry.
John, it's okay. I don't take it personally. No. But what
brought us in was D-Day.
But no. What I'm talking about is the most popular. If you walk up to a general person and you just say World War II, tell me something about World War II. Most people go to D-Day first because they think of the ships landing on the beaches and the people rolling out.
Ryan,
exactly. That's exactly what they think about in their head. Or they think Pearl Harbor because they think of Pearl Harbor getting attacked and us always talking about it every single year.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, those are the two main things that they would go for. You don't typically hear when you think of for the Pearl Harbor side of things. Yeah, we talk about it was a battle with Japan because of kamikazes and all that other stuff. We never talk about the fact that Japan was in its own other war with China on the other side.
Oh, they were in
Do you
China,
see what I'm saying?
Singapore,
I just thought that was crazy. It's really funny how some of these small nations will try to make a big move. They will try to make a big move. They will. Like it's almost like beating their chests.
Well, everybody knows that the Germans were real terrible, but the Japanese committed atrocious acts as well too.
It was an ugly time period for everybody.
Oh, yeah,
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It really was. And I don't know where we go from there at that point. Like, in relation to where we are today, from then, I mean, they were actually battling, killing each other. We're not there right now. Everybody always talks about like it's going to happen or it's coming.
Yeah, but the relationship between the U.S. and Japan is far stronger than.
Oh yeah, nowadays we're allies. That's not a problem right now. I think that Putin and the Queen, legitimately, and she just passed away. I think Putin is the last relic of the old ways. Like as far as the world goes, like the power player at the top that kind of rules over everybody and then makes the moves on behalf of their country. And the Queen, for the first half of her career, had a lot of that going on. Second half, not so much. She became more of a figurehead as Parliament handled everything else from there on out. So, but my point being, there's a similar run there. And then Putin's kind of that last relic, right? He's still thinking the Cold War. He's still thinking nukes. He's still, playing all those games. It's this old archaic, we're going to do it my way, dictatorship style. And it's going to be how you guys don't want to deal with it, but I don't care because I'm in charge. Like that mentality at a major level from some country. Do you see what I'm saying? Because once Putin's gone, the president of the United States and the majority of other leaders across the world, including the United States, they're very midline in the way that they kind of run life. You know what I'm saying? They just kind of roll with the punches. They don't try to create too much of a stink with anybody specifically. No. Most of the time in the United States, it's because we have a target on our backs, being the top dog military-wise. So everybody looks at us as, oh, you're the badass on the block. You're supposed to be able to protect all of us or help this or help that. I get it.
Yeah. But
makes sense.
We're not the world's police, or we shouldn't be at least.
And you're right. I think the same thing. We shouldn't be the world's police. Now, if there's some part of the world that is in the middle of a situation and they desperately need help, I feel like the United States, just because we are the biggest dog on the block, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone's going to look to us anyway.
Yeah. And
we do have the manpower and resources in most cases to handle these things.
I like when the French got their ass kicked by some guys in the jungle.
There you go. My point being, we have the ability. Was that Predator? I love that alien.
No, that's Vietnam.
Never mind. No, but my point being, like, I think that, yeah, us stepping in that case, fine. So be it. We'll step in to try to help out. Or how about this? Instead of us stepping in to always want to battle or be a part of your battle, like ally with you or against somebody else, how about if you guys are having an issue, how about there's a mediation and the United States will play the mediator? Yeah. How about that? I think that's fair, right? Both sides come to the table. We discuss it. The United States plays mediator. Whole world's looking to us anyway. If it was military-wise, they'd be looking to us anyway. So if it's going to get dirty, it's going to get dirty this way anyway. So we might as well let the United States play the mediator, and then we'll just let you guys work the problem out. And if we can't come to mediation, then we'll have to come to restitution. Oh. And then if we can't do restitution, well, then now we're kind of up against the wall at that point. There's nothing we can really do. It's going to be, let's go to battle. And that's it. Like, yeah. But I think that there should be like somewhat of a process to that. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to we're in the middle of a battle, just come jump in and start fighting. Because right now, like if things go the way people think, okay, so Ukraine just said that they want to join NATO. So if they're going to join NATO, now we have vested interest in that because we are kind of like the protector of NATO. Like that is our job. And that's kind of why we are in NATO in the first place. So then they are definitely going to want us to get involved. And if we have to get involved, now we have to side with Ukraine. Well, that's immediately we're in a war with Russia. Okay, now the gloves come off because we're already fighting a war.
Well, and just us accepting.
And he's not going to mediate.
Well, us accepting Ukraine into NATO would probably, in Putin's eyes, be an act of war.
Of course, because he still thinks that that's his land.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Now, I'm sure that Putin is a greedy enough person. I mean, money's always nice. It's not like he needs money.
Well, it's weird how he keeps winning elections.
Well, they're rigged. They're rigged every time. For sure.
Call it what you will.
I mean, no, it's ridiculous. No, it's literally. In fact, the last one was the most ridiculous one because that's the one where they changed the results as the polls were coming in the night before. No. It was when it was over with. They said that the actual poll results were like he actually only had 41% of the vote or whatever, and like that played in the newspapers for like a week. And it got so angry with the Kremlin and those guys, they went to the newspapers and they forced all the media to change the story to that it was 98% to his benefit that the voting went. So it was like they printed the legit results and then it was 50% more that they had to go to fool everybody with his lie.
For a start.
And the worst part is it's 2021 at this point, or 2018 or whatever year it was when he just had his last election. We're in a time period where social media is the way it is. Like, this is already a well-known thing. We can instantaneously put this information out. And by the way, within an hour, the whole world knows.
Oh, yeah. Well, within seconds.
You let this shit ride for a week. A week. And then you came back and were like, no, change that story to 98%. Too late, bro. We already caught you. We know you're cheating. Stop this. Stop this. You got a dictatorship. We get it. We don't know why they're scared of you. Like I said on my show, if I was an oligarch with a lot of money, people in my pocket, and I was in Russia right now, and Putin was dealing with what he's dealing with, I would try to take him out and just take his spot. I'm an oligarch too. I want to be famous. Maybe I could be president of Russia. Why not?
Yeah, but he
and I got the money and the players. But the country's already been dealing with dictatorship. A change in regime, if it stayed a dictatorship, a change in regime alone would be a breath of fresh air to them. Just a change in the regime. I'm not even going to speculate if it would become more democratic or open-minded or anything. Yes, sir. Audience member, what was your question?
Are there any black Russians?
Yeah, there's black Russians, of course. You don't think black people got to Russia?
I just want to see something. That's all I got.
You can't be in Newtown, Missouri screaming black people out loud over a microphone.
Well, that's just coffee.
You cannot
and vodka,
be doing
right?
that.
That's coffee and vodka.
You can't be doing that. I'm just saying. You were asking questions. But yeah, there are black Russians, of course. Are there any white Nigerians?
No.
Oof.
There might be.
No.
But I want legit white. Like they are white Nigerians, not I moved from Britain and I became a Nigerian citizen. None of that.
You know, the black delegation said no.
Okay.
Next
Okay.
question.
You know, that Dave Chappelle skit is still one of my favorite skits. The draft, the racial draft, where they drafted different people from the different races and cultures to each other's teams. And the Asians took Tiger Woods.
I'll give him back now.
But I really wish that was kind of, to be honest with you, I really wish that was a thing. I wish that was a yearly Saturday Night Live skit where they would do a yearly racial draft of whoever's popular at the time. I think that would be hilarious. Yeah. And if it was a real thing, I think we could pull that off.
I used it all up.
I think we could pull that off.
That sounds.
Who would you draft to the white delegation from the black delegation? Now, no. Now, you understand the way our draft is supposed to work, Marcus, is not who you think would fit with white culture, give them to the white people. No. We draft who we want from the other culture to become part of our culture. So it's whoever we want. We could get Michael Jackson if we want.
No.
We could have Michael Jackson if we want. We could take all of Michael Jackson. No, all of Michael Jackson could come with us right now.
Well, no, he can't.
No, we could draft him because they can turn around and draft their person. They already got him. They can't draft Michael Jackson, so they can just draft whoever they want. Now they might take somebody. They might take Bill Clinton.
Nah, probably not.
I don't know. I mean, he was a president.
He was.
No,
he was
we
indeed.
got one. No.
And outside of Obama, he might be the best option, at least for drinking a beer with, maybe.
I don't know. He's probably a little old these days.
Let's see. If we were the black delegation, you want Tom Brady?
Mm-hmm.
You can have Tom Brady. You can have Tom Brady. I'll let you have Tom Brady, sir. You can have TB12. All right. I don't want Lamar Jackson. I do not want Lamar Jackson. Yeah, we know. Tom Brady, Tampa Bay. You could have all the Super Bowls too. You get all the Super Bowls with that. All the Super Bowls. So that's good for you guys. You got Kobe. You got LeBron. Now you got Tom Brady. Michael Jordan too. Look at that. That's a stellar lineup. Man, what you want? I want some fry. I want some barbecue sauce on the side. No, all right. So we've done. Who did we say we were going to take?
How about Morgan Freeman?
Ooh, I like that call. I like that. Yeah, that's a solid pick. You know what I'm saying? You get some wisdom. You get some great movies that come along with that. Perfect narration. You got a great narrator. Always willing to play along, too.
Oh, 100%.
Now, he's a little old. We're going to lose him soon. I'm sure. I mean, he's not young anymore, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, this guy, look him up. How old is Morgan Freeman?
Shoot.
Like 78? Mel Brooks? He's white already.
Yeah, but he's like 90-something.
Yeah, he's old.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they ain't going to want Mel Brooks.
No, hell no.
No, we don't want that shit.
They might take Robin Williams, though.
Well, but
They might take Robin Williams, though. They might take Robin Williams.
Community.
Robin Williams would be a solid pickup for the black delegation. It really would. Well, no, this is an all-time draft, okay? And there are people that are off the board. Hitler, people like that, they're off the board. We're not even talking about them. We're not dealing with them.
Okay.
We're not dealing with trash. We're not dealing with trash.
Stalin?
Nope.
Mao?
We're not dealing with trash. We're not dealing with dictators and trash. We're not dealing with that. The only time trash comes into play in the racial draft is if there's an abbreviated foul of some format, like some type of a pick or a take back or something that happens, then there's a foul applied. Now, one of the worst people within the category of your culture, now they get given to that culture. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a penalty.
Ugh.
It's like, so you give a Stalin over to the black delegation or the Asian delegation. Do you see what I'm saying?
I feel it. I feel it.
I feel it too.
What about the Latino delegation?
I do like man, who do we take? Do we swipe Selena? Do we just swipe Selena? We swipe Selena.
We snort.
We take
Pablo.
Selena, right?
We snorting Pablo.
We taking Pablo?
Oh yeah.
Pablo Escobar?
Oh yeah.
We want Pablo more than Selena?
We're gonna take him on a foul.
We're talking about
an
iconic legend. They paint pictures of Selena with wolves and volcanoes on the side of minivans.
Yeah, but Pablo
Do you understand
owned
this?
wolves and volcanoes.
She didn't have hippos. Pablo had hippos.
Pablo had hippos. He had motorbikes too. He was real big into riding motorbikes on trails. Airplanes, cocaine, of course.
Well, naturally. We all know about that.
Allegedly.
Yeah, they never can.
Now, here's the problem. Here's the problem. The only problem with Pablo is that Pablo's in the penalty box group. Like, he can only be given out as a penalty.
Oh, we'll take that foul, please.
You just want that foul anyway.
We'll take that foul.
Oh, this is kind of weird for a football game. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time they decline it. But in this case, you're like, we'll take that foul.
Yeah, sometimes, when it works out.
A loss might be a gain. A loss might be a gain.
Sometimes you have to give up a small loss in order to gain big.
I'm trying to think if I was looking at the Asian delegation, right? Now, the Asian delegation includes a lot of countries, a lot of different famous people. Like, we're going across the board a lot. You only get one. And I'm thinking about the Asian delegation. I'm like, who over there strikes my fancy as far as like, I would like Jackie Chan seems like a natural pull just because everybody knows Jackie Chan, or Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad pull. That's a solid pull. But I feel like there could be some others that might be a little bit more, like maybe the first samurai warrior ever. Like that dude. he sets the tone for history. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like, grabbing a piece like that and putting it into our chest, that's a really nice look.
Okay.
But that's more of if you peruse the overall resume.
But no Pablo.
Most of the time, people are only going for your top 3.
Yeah, but I imagine that.
Okay. No, so here's the deal: if you are willing to take a penalty, that's fine. If you want a bad guy on your team, it's going to obviously look bad in the eyes of other nations. But at the same point, they were always bad before that, so they always got to look badly by other nations anyway. So there you go. You can have Pablo Escobar.
Sometimes you need a scapegoat.
I feel like that. That's good. Where do movie stars fall into this? Like, who gets moved around on the movie star side of things? You picked up you said Morgan Freeman was a good solid one, but like I'm trying to think of other movie stars that we like. Do they swipe a Brad Pitt?
Wow.
Don't be do we give him Clooney or Pitt? Well, they're going to ask for one of them. They're going to ask for one.
I'll give Clooney.
Oh!
He just took Denzel.
Beat me to it.
The white delegation takes Denzel Washington.
No, the Latin.
Oh, the Latino delegation. I'm sorry. There's been a fall. The Latino delegation has taken Denzel Washington. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody. Ridiculous. Wow. How did that happen? Out of nowhere. Fantastic pull for those guys.
That was a strong move. Wow. That was epic. Wow.
You know what? I might have to hit them with Jennifer Lopez or something. I might have to really swipe one of their big. I might have to take Jennifer Lopez or something like that. We might have to swipe her.
That Anna.
Plus, Ben Affleck already married to her, so this will work out great.
Oh, well, it's a twofer. We can get rid of Ben.
We are shooken by that move.
Oh, that is a good point. That is a good point. See, ladies and gentlemen, what we don't take into account with the racial draft is if anybody is married to another famous person, if this person gets drafted over to the other league, this person has to go with that person they're married.
Oh, no.
That's a +1.
No.
So you get Ben Affleck and J-Lo. Like, that's the swipe that, like, do you see what I'm saying? That's a twofer. That's a tough one, man. Like, it's okay if they take Tom Hanks and Rita. Okay, fine. But if you're taking like J-Lo and Ben, now you're trying to hit us, right?
Absolutely. But
is there anybody we're willing to freely give up? Is there any who's on the waiver wire right off the bat? That's the question.
I'll do George Clooney for Samuel L. Jackson.
George Clooney for Samuel L. Jackson. That is the proposed trade. George Clooney, a lot of good movies. Samuel L. Jackson, a lot of great movies. Is it? See, but George is kind of part of that, like, the current regime of the Hollywood Rat Pack.
Current regime? He's been in it since the 90s.
No, I'm saying, this is the current regime. It's still here. That's why it doesn't matter when it started. It's just still here. True. And so, like, my point being, if you're part of that current regime, we want to kind of keep that regime together because that's the Hollywood Rat Pack of today.
I have a contestant of the Cornhole to give an update on the game.
Oh, we need.
We have a Cornhole games contestant,
Mr. Chase.
But
he's ready whenever you're ready. Chase will give us an update.
Everybody sucks.
Okay, everybody sucks.
Okay.
We'll get you on the microphone that you have.
Okay. He's got pineapples all over his hat, so he swings it up. It's good stuff.
We switching
out
the novice for the pro.
I'm down to fuck other dudes' wives.
Okay, that's really weird, but all right. That's a weird way to put your life, but all right.
Go back. He's not ready yet. Well, when he gets done, he'll be up.
Man.
All right.
That's a weird way to ruin your life, but all right.
Man.
That's how I roll.
How you hitting me with this pump fake right now?
Is there anybody we're willing to freely give up? Freely give up. We're just like, you can have them. We don't even care. Just take them. Run with it.
Trying to think of somebody that's good.
Somebody who's annoying.
Not
you
bad.
need someone annoying.
Oh.
Someone who's annoying.
How about that one bitch from Jersey Shore?
Snooki?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to give up a Snooki?
They can have it.
We can throw a Snooki out. Yeah, that's another thing. If we're doing the racial draft and all that, right? Mm-hmm. Do we do breakdown for like certain delegations, like Italians, Jewish people? Like, do we do breakdowns like that too? Like to where it can be?
But this is the thing that
You said what?
We'll be here too long.
We'd be here too long. No, I'm just saying if we were to have a legitimate one, do we get that deep or no? Do we just kind of keep that off the table? We kind of keep it to color specifically and like the main ones, the big dogs that have technically their own languages usually. So what we got coming up next here on AFM? Oh, what I got coming up next on the queue? Well, I think we're going to be having Ashlyn Alexander from the MMWA coming up here in a few weeks at some point. So I'm excited to have her on the show. And I'm just looking forward to it's really weird. We are supposed to be in the middle of election season for the midterms, right?
Yes.
The beginning of November. It's now the 1st of October. Literally in a month, 30 days plus like 5 or 6, it'll be election day. I'm not seeing a ton of ads for elections. I've seen some billboard stuff on the side of the road, stuff like that, but beyond that, not much. Where are we at, Marcus?
Oh, you know, you're good.
Where were we at?
36. So
Okay. I haven't seen a lot of that this year at all. And
There's some out there.
And the other thing is that there hasn't been a lot of like hubbub about specific political issues that have popped up and become like major national stories throughout the last, I would say it's been tough the last couple of months to do my show just because it's been the same stories over and over with just a new little piece added each week. So there's really not much to talk about because you're just kind of rehashing the same thing as the last time you talk to people. And it becomes kind of daunting. So it's been a tough election season, I would say. Okay. It's been a quiet election season. That's what I'll say. It's been a quiet election season.
Yeah.
We'll see where we'll see where we land in November.
That's the funny thing about U.S. elections, though. The midterm is awfully quiet, and then the presidential race is big bang, boom, bang. Boom.
Well, our last midterm was really loud, just because. Oh my goodness, are we a bar?
Yes.
What is this?
Yes, we are.
This is nuts over here.
We're a bar that spits bars. All right.
I'm a diva, so I'm a professional and a diva.
Oh, I'm a professional alcoholic. Remember?
That's fair.
Scotch.
You can be whatever you want. That's fine. I have no problem with these things. That's right. Clap it up. Now, see, I want to be part of the Goon Squad. See that? The Goon Squad. The Goon Squad. Yeah.
Yeah, we see you. I
want to be in the Goon Squad.
How's the games going? The Goon Squad isn't doing very well. That's what the report.
Oh, that one's not doing very well.
Okay, so
that Goon Squad member's not doing well.
Are there 2 goons in the Goon Squad, or are there a whole gaggle of goons?
A gaggle of goons?
Yes.
Wow, there we go.
Yes.
I do like. They are a St. Louis-based crew too, so that's even better for me. I love that. All right, man. I just like the shirt. I want one of the shirts. I need a Goon Squad shirt. Double XL. That's what size they are. I need a double XL. Anyway, I don't get out and play games like bags too often. I like it. I'm solid at bags. I'm really good at washers. That's my game.
I was always a fan of horseshoes.
I was never good at horseshoes. I was okay. I could always get it close, but not really ring much. And so like
ringers, huh?
Couldn't get them ringers, so like it wasn't really worth it for me. Cornhole's probably my second best game behind washers for sure. Washers is my best game. Right there.
Oh,
that's downtown. My best game. That's what I'm the best at. Every time I win tournaments in washers. I don't win tournaments in other games. I win tournaments in washers.
Okay. Okay.
And they're not major tournaments or anything like that, but when I enter, I win them.
Well, Marcus and I, we won a beer pong tournament.
A beer pong tournament?
Yes, we are champions.
Well, that's really good. You're probably a Monday night bagging champion at some bar. No,
bagging moms, maybe.
That's not it. Did you say no? Wait, you're telling me there wasn't a weekly night bag game that Cecil kept promoting?
There is one now.
I wasn't.
It is now.
He's been doing that for a while, though. Like quite a while.
Years some change.
2. Definitely 2. On the better side of 2, for sure.
Fair enough.
So,
Wrong side of 2.
I mean, I just like, yeah, washers. That's where it's at for me. I can't get into these other games, man. I love bags. No. Let me get there. I said that wrong. I can get into these other games. I like bags. You know, I'll sit there and I'll play bags all day long. I have no problem doing that at all. But my problem is I don't get to play a lot of washers. I've probably played more bags in the last 6 months than I have washers, for sure. For sure. Over Labor Day weekend alone, I played a ton of bags. So,
Well, maybe you need to switch the game up.
maybe I do, but
Switch the script.
I'm just. It's just one of those things. I don't put in the bags is one of those repetition games. Like washers, it is too, but it's so little and it's so easy for me to control. Like my control on that is real easy. With the bags, it's all about the motion and then the angle and like it's about repetition
are we talking
over
about
and
bags
over and over.
What are we talking about here?
Talking about bags.
You sure?
Oh, I mean sex.
I feel like we're sliding into a cognac corner conversation.
I'm part of the Coochie crew. Where'd my
am as
Coochie crew shirt go? It was still right here.
It's over here. Okay.
You got it over there?
It's on
Okay.
the property still.
Did you put anything on the back or no?
No, you're just regular. You didn't tell me anything. So I didn't put anything on there.
Well, you know my name's Mark.
Well,
I thought it was John.
It is John too. Yeah, it's both of those. I am officially.
Coochied up.
Well, first off, I do all the graphic design for the Cooch crew. So yeah, I got to be part of the Cooch crew. I'm part of the Cooch crew because
The
before the
truth
Cooch crew
comes
even
out.
existed. That's what's going on here. I'm OG Coochie crew, and they got me my shirt last. That's right. Shoes it up.
We're at it. That was pretty quick.
Are you trying to tell me to wrap my show up, bro? Because if you are, I will.
no, you're fine. Whenever you're ready. I'm in no rush.
He's in no rush.
But since we're talking about Russia,
Yeah, what
maybe
about
he's
it?
Rush in
He could be.
just a little bit.
Ooh. See, now if we went to as deep on the breakdowns as I said we should go, you could have Russian as a breakdown, and then we could
But see,
get
that's
black
not-
person to become a Russian. They could have Samuel L. Jackson.
But
You see what I'm saying? Like we could give them to the Russians, and now the Russians have a black Russian.
Yeah, but
You
that's
see my point?
now you're going cultural rather than.
That's
than
what I was
racial.
saying.
So
It depended on where we stop our breakdown at. I think we did fine with our breakdown stopping point. But if we went further, these are the unique kind of breakdowns that we could get into. That could be fun. It could be fun, but it's not.
Well,
It's
how do
not
you
fun.
how do you get people like Halle Berry? Where does she lie?
Halle Berry just is Halle Berry, and so like she's black, right?
Halle
She's
Berry.
black. So she's part of the black delegation. She's good to the Latinos. But see, if you say Latinos, now you're talking about like how Russians are Russian, Latinos are Latino. Do you see what I'm saying? Like
Well,
it's
you have
the
to say
racial
Hispanic.
breakdown. It's just
Hispanic, yes.
Spanish. But that's my point. Like there's that breakdown of that racial aspect of it. And it's like, oh, we're going to mix all of them together. So those guys could have their own section. But it's okay. It's okay. That food smells delicious. Queen going to come over here
Ooh,
walking with food
looking sultry.
right in front of me.
Oh, let's wrap it up. It's stable. Wrap it up.
What?
I'm sorry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
We'll be back.
it's about time.
We'll be back.
It's about time for Mark to get out of here on this this lovely live stream for Always Forward Media. I want to thank John for being on the show with me today. Thank you so much, sir.
Not a problem. Thank you, John.
You're welcome, sir. No,
you're welcome,
I really
sir.
appreciate AFM and Marcus and the team over here.